So hi and welcome to today's video. We are still pushing on with our series, and today we are basically going to improve our interaction system. I want us to be able to press a button first before opening a door. So right now all the entire interaction process is automatic. So when I get close to the door, it opens automatically. So I want to quickly change that and make sure this only happens when the player presses a certain button. So I'll go to my interactable, base interactable, and I want us to be able to call a function from the player inputs. So what this does is what I'll do is I'll call this function player interacted from an interface. So an interface is quite like more like a lightweight function that doesn't bring all the references to our blueprint. And to create an interface, I'll just add another folder right here, and the blueprints, I'll do another folder called interface, and then I'll go and create a blueprint, and there is a blueprint interface. So I'll call it BPI for blueprint interface interaction. Yeah, so we'll open it quickly, and I'll go straight and call interact. So I'll add this interface to our base interactable. So I'll go to settings, or rather class settings, and go to implemented interface, and then click add, and I'll search for my blueprint interface interactions. Yeah, so you'll notice the function does pop up right here, and when I hit interact, we can see this is our function. Now I want us to be able to call this function from the player side. So once the player presses like an F button, he interacts with the object, or rather, if it's the door, it does open after receiving an input from the player. So to do that, we'll go straight to our player, and the blueprints, characters, player, and we want to create another input called interaction. So I'll go to our inputs. I'll quickly go to our inputs, blueprints, inputs, and I'll just duplicate jump, and I'll name it to interact. I'll open the context, add another input, and I'll name it interact, and then let's use the keyboard F for that. So press F to interact, save everything, go back to player, and I'll call interact. So remember, it's not this one, it's the input action events. So I want that, and I want us to be able to call the interaction once we are close to, once like our widget is up already. Yeah, so I'll go quickly to the player and do on started, I'll do a box stress. this is just a simple box, so I can do a let me do a multi-box trace by channel, and on start I can just get my player location, get actor location, add it here, and on the half size or the box extents, I'll just do like a 200, 200. Yeah, orientation I'll leave it to 0, 0, 0, and then I'll check on trace complex and the actors to ignore. I'll make an array and ignore myself. Yeah, so I also want us to be able to draw the debug type just for a duration, and once we do this, I'll test it out to see if it's working. Go quickly and play, and when I press F, you can see there is like a green box that's tracing. So F again, I think it's big and I want to reduce the extents, so I'll go back to player and reduce the extents to 100, to 100, to 100. And then when I press F, I can see it's quite a small box and I like it already. So now we want to check if this trace is hitting a certain actor that has an interact function, right? So to do that, we'll do out of hit events, and I will do for each loop. So it's important that we do a multi-trace because the trace can hit something that's not an interactable and it might register that. That's why I'm doing a multi-trace right here. So under the for each loop, so basically take all the actors that were hit with the trace and I'll break the hit results and get the actor, and I'll say I'll check if it has interface. I'll scroll down, does object implement interface, and I'll select my interface to the blueprint interface interactions, and then do a branch and take these. After that, I'll quickly get the actor again and call the interact interface. Yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much it. So I'll go back to our interactable and remove this function right here, so that when we go back to our door, so let's go to the door. This was our perfect example, and I want us to call the interact interface and replace this function that we had earlier created to the interface one. Now when I compile and go back to our game, when I hit play and get close to the door, when there is the interact button, when I press F, you can see now our door is opening. And that's pretty much it. Continue following, also consider subscribing, and have a good one.